So Michael mentioned I've been in the software business for a while, and I also am an author of a book, Collaboration Explained. Is that the slide that you see right now, Michael?
Correct.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. And what I've been caring about more recently in my software career is really talking about collaboration and Agile and Lean. And this is because I've noticed as we try to, and in fact must, scale our Agile efforts, the existing Agile guidance and tenets and principles didn't seem to be robust enough to help us figure out how to deal with distributed teams. Even more importantly for me, there didn't seem to be enough guidance around how to help teams scale in this economic situation that we're in, and also just in general worrying about costs. So if we go to the next slide, you'll see that that's why I decided to then take my interest in Agile and collaboration and Lean and really go after what I call attacking waste. We're going to get into a little bit more about what I mean by waste, but if you look at the picture here, you may recall a little film that came out last year called WALL-E. And if any of you saw the film or your children saw the film, it was all about the fact that the world had turned into a big waste pile. And when I was looking at that and thinking about it, I thought that I didn't really want that to happen to us with regard to the software that we're building. I want us to be delivering value to our customers and not have waste piling up in all of its different forms. So what I hope this presentation will do is compel you to think about what you could embrace of 3 different high-level practices to help reduce or cut your waste and costs. So to tell you about that, I'm going to be talking about Agile and its practices and how it cuts costs and waste. And then I'm going to introduce a notion called community, where we use this community of customers and in a relationship with our own companies to reduce waste by how we decide what the software should do. And then finally I want to talk about how we deliver software. That is, what forms of material goods or other goods and people resources are required for us to deliver value. With these 3 possible practices in your toolbox, I believe the benefits for you would be an ability to be more innovative, to be truly cost-cutting, to be very customer and value-driven, and ultimately to be customer responsive and value responsive. So if we look at the next slide, these are some statistics I want to give you to think about to compel you around the benefits of attacking waste. There are some studies out there that only 20% of all delivered features are often or always used. And that when we're actually developing the valuable features, these 20% of all features delivered, that we're only getting 6% efficiency in all the work that we're doing in developing those features. That means that 93 to 94% of our work that we do is not value-driven. And that finally, cycle times of 12 months or more is just too much of a delayed feedback loop in order to fix the first 2 of these. So to improve the value of features we deliver and to increase our efficiencies, 12 months is too much of a delayed feedback loop. And this comes from some work in systems thinking that I'll touch on briefly, where delayed feedback loops are the real sort of villain in how we try to fix any problem. So I want you to hold that as well as we think about trying to attack waste. So if we look at the next slide, our imperative right now is that the global economy is in a crisis. And that means that our own corporations and organizations are in crisis. I've been traveling around visiting a number of organizations recently, and everywhere I go, everyone is talking about all the cost-cutting measures they have. They're freezing their hiring ability, they're doing realignments of resources, and everywhere, everyone's talking budgets. And so what I think about with these people is, as you're doing that, let's talk about how to cut waste out of your systems. And so what waste do I mean? Where are there wastes in our current software development and delivery? Well, it's what we spend our time on. When we finally get features into the hands of the paying customer, how long is that taking us? And what value are they actually getting when we deliver software into their hands? And so because waste is a big word in the lean community, I use lean as a guide for how we'll do our waste management, just as Wally was doing waste management on the abandoned earth. And so think about in how we turn to more of a green economy and green world, we talk about having a zero carbon footprint. And so if I think about a zero footprint in software development, what I'd say is, again, let's look at these three practices of getting faster throughput of higher value features through Agile, and also creating the highest value, understanding what that highest value is, by inviting a notion of community and social marketing and social media. And then finally, the delivery mechanism that we want to use is SaaS and cloud computing, where we're able to deliver with minimum footprint and impact, either on our organizations or on our customers' organizations. So let's go to the next slide and just introduce, what do I mean by waste? What am I thinking about with regard to waste? How are we currently doing our product marketing? How are we delivering the software? What expenses is it taking out of us? And then finally, what's the investment that it takes when we are delivering in large batches of software versus what I'll call small, short, incremental delivery of software? So the next three slides are going to give us a little bit more of a time to pause and reflect on this. So the next slide says, what wastes do you incur with software delivery? So think about, what wastes do you currently manage in getting your software products into your customers' hands? What are all your processes and artifacts and handoffs and wait times and delays that prevent that value from getting into the hands of your customer? What's that 94% that you're doing that doesn't actually have value add to get end items, end products into your customer's hands? And so we can think then that that's the waste that you have in your system that we'd want to attack. In the next slide, think about, what wastes do you incur with software product marketing? So what wastes are you currently managing in order to find out what that value is in the marketplace for either new customers or your existing customers? How are you servicing any of them with how you define what your product will be? And who decides what should go into your software products? Do you have a large product marketing group that has traditional ways of defining product? Are they taking advantage of the new social media and ways of creating community in order to do that? And then finally, on our next slide, I want you to think about, what waste do you incur when you create these big bang software releases? So what does it